Hello everybody and welcome back to the Retro Recall. Hope you're doing awesome. Today we have a Lenovo Thinkpad. That's right, beautiful Windows 11, thin and light laptop running all the latest and greatest Wait a minute. This is not retro. What's this doing here? Let's put this aside. There we go. The Thinkpad. That's right. Before there was a ThinkPad, there was the ThinkPad, the IBM Thinkpad 380XD, coming in at 7.2 pounds, almost 2 inches thick, from 1997. These machines were built for the business market. Specifically, examples were government offices, schools, boards, things like that, that you'd be able to buy these machines. These machines were quite expensive back in the day. This particular machine, based on its configuration, was between around $5,000 at the time. This machine comes with a Pentium 233 processor with 96 megabytes of RAM, 6.4 gigabyte hard drive, onboard sound and video, and a 12.1-inch 800 by 600 SVGA screen. So let's go over the machine in a little more detail to show all the connectivity before we go ahead and open it up. So on the front, we have the two speakers ports here. So for the sound, we also have the two latches to be able to open up the screen. On the other side here, we have the hard drive, removable hard drive that's here. And again, IBM was really geared towards the business market, and being able to expand the machine for hard drive space was a really cool feature at the time. And as I noted earlier, I've upgraded this machine. This is a PCM CIA expansion bay, which allowed you to hook up devices to the machines if there wasn't a port on this. For example, this particular machine does not have networking capability, so you would use the expansion card to do so, the PCM CIA expansion card. And this particular one is for networking. And you could also hook up cards just like USB cards, memory cards, things like that. So that's what this the expansion port's for. Over here, we have our onboard sound external connectivity, which is for your headphones, your microphone, as well as your volume control. And we also have our on-off switch for the machine itself, which we'll be using here shortly. On the back, we have our external mouse port. PS2 was the form factor at the time. Allowed you not to have to use the onboard mouse as well. And then we have our power cord. We have our USB version 1 port, which again, having USB in these machines in early 1997 was quite the expense to have this configuration. A serial port, a parallel port for printing to printers at the time, and an external VGA port to hook up an external monitor if you didn't want to use the onboard monitor as well, or you can run dual. And then on this side, we have our vent, our infrared port to be able to print using infrared to external devices, or sorry, I shouldn't say just print, because it wasn't just related to printers, to connecting to other devices. And then over here, we have our dual bay, which was a little more niche at the time. First off, CD-ROM drives, early 1997 in machines, where CD-ROMs were just becoming a little more popular and were, again, very expensive. Now, this particular machine comes with a thin CD-ROM drive as well as a floppy drive. And so machines back in the day had usually only just one of these two, and then it would come with the external bay. And you'd be able to swap one out, put one in, or by utilizing the PCM CIA technology, you'd have the ability to pop this in and have an external drive running off of a dongle or something like that. So let's go ahead and plug this machine in here. Now, before I plug it in, actually, I want to mention something. So this machine itself does have a battery in it. Unfortunately, the battery does not work anymore. And so I have not been successful in being able to replace this battery or find a replacement battery or anyone that can rebuild this battery for me. That's why I've kept it just in case. Now, anybody saying at the screen, hey, take the battery out and go bad and expand and damage your machine, This is dead. This is not being charged. I'm not using it. It doesn't. I've tested it. It just does not work. So I'm not worried about it damaging any of the machine itself. But please leave a comment down below if you feel that you know where I could potentially get a replacement for one of these machines. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, so before further ado, let's go ahead and plug this in and load up the. Or before we actually load up the computer, let's do a little tour of the inside. Just go ahead and open up the two latches on the side. So just pull them out and load up the screen here. So I'm just going to move it towards the camera a little bit and do a little adjustment so you can see the monitor pretty well. All right, so the beautiful IBM Thinkpad logo up in the corner here, our 12.1-inch screen, which sports 800 by 600 resolution. We have our our adjuster on the side here, which is a slider. It's meant for contrast and brightness, kind of a combo. I have it set just right, I believe, for the camera, and I'm hoping that it comes across well for everybody. And we have the famous IBM keyboard to this day, still works beautifully. IBM was just famous for their keyboards, typing away on the keyboards, all the way from the Model M keyboard, all the way to, newer systems, newer business class ThinkPad today that we have in the market. They're just really good keyboards that just stood the test of time. I mean, here we are in 2023 running a 1997 laptop, and every key works beautifully. There's no issues, and it's works great. Also, another thing to note on this PC, on this laptop, is the trackpad. Another thing, track point nub here that you see here, which was the mouse pointer. IBM was very famous for that feature, along with the left and right mouse buttons here. What's missing from this particular machine that you're probably more familiar with is the track point, the trackpad for moving around your finger on it. There's nothing on this machine. As you can see in the more newer ThinkPad, you have that feature. Plus, they still kept the track point there as well. It's crazy to look at these side by side and see the design from 1997 to 2021. It's just absolutely crazy to see the designs of these machines and how it's stood the test of time. So let's go ahead and fire this machine up, and we'll give it a go here. So this particular machine, I was fortunate enough to purchase a few years ago from online, and I was able to find parts and restore it back to its original glory, even brand new stickers. Lenovo is famous for their rubberized machines. I was able to strip all that off, all that coating, just because over the time it was degrading. All right. We're loading into Windows 98. That's what I have installed on this machine at the moment. I'm thinking about doing a future video where we're going to do something with Windows 95. We haven't seen that yet on the channel, and we've got a really cool experience to walk through with everybody with that. So it's going ahead and load up to Windows 98, and I'll put my password in, and we'll hear the wonderful Windows 98 startup sound. And there we are. Yeah, it's not bad for a screen from 1997. The quality, I mean, you can definitely see the drag in the screen compared to newer screens today, newer monitors, and it's just the quality is very crisp for its age. And Lenovo, IBM was very famous for their hardware, for the quality of the hardware, the build of the hardware, and again the longevity. So it's just really cool to experience that today. So as I noted, let's go load up Microsoft Word here, and Word 97 actually. And let me just do a quick adjustment here so everybody can see the screen. But yeah, just that keyboard. I'm sitting here, hello world. Yeah, just typing today. And the machine just is just super fast. Even from back in the day, this was a top of the line machine at the time, and it's just really cool to see all this retro hardware working together even today. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust that back so everybody can see the screen pretty well there. There we go. I won't overexpose it. All right. So one of the other things, I mean, I do have some Windows games installed in here: Monster Truck Madness, Extreme Pinball, a few other games on here, which we can definitely explore another time, another video. So I just really wanted to show everybody just today the hardware. But one of the things that, again, these were built for businesses. There wasn't a lot of the graphics on board weren't all that great. The sound chips that were in them were, Sound Blaster compatible chips versus true Sound Blaster or OPL3 capable, etc. This particular machine, again, just has your standard onboard graphics and onboard Sound Blaster compatible. So I wanted to see what this particular machine could do in terms of playing DOS games. Now, because the configuration of the time wasn't really built for that, I'm going to go ahead and restart the PC, but I've gone ahead and created a Windows boot disk. And this boot disk will allow me to boot into DOS with the boot disk. Now, you can do that natively here, but the way I have the configuration all set up, I don't want to mess with any of the settings that allow this machine to work. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop that in the side here and do a quick restart of the computer, and we'll be able to load off of that boot disk. And we'll play a couple of DOS games. There we go. The computer's restarting. And it should start accessing the A drive here, the floppy drive, which is built into the machine. There we are. It's loading up. So what this is doing is really loading up the basic configuration required for DOS gaming. Now, that's called your low memory, your conventional memory on your computer. This has 640K of conventional memory. And I've gone ahead and created a configuration which really frees up a lot of that memory. So one of those games that we used to play in the, let's go C drive here, play back in the day, is Stunts. It is the Need for Speed of the day. Back when I was much younger. I was introduced to this game when I was younger by my brother, I should say, and we played this quite a bit growing up. Now you may notice that the game itself is not taking up the full screen. So one thing about this machine is that, and other machines of the era as well, is that it requires software to render the screen for the full effect for the whole screen. It's using the hardware right now, so it's really just limited to what is capable of the hardware on this particular screen. Okay, so there we are. So welcome to Stunts. So let's just go through the menu real quick. Let's just see what's here. So we have opponent. So just love that sound, that the early DOS gaming sound. It's amazing. So here you're able to go in and choose whether you want to race against the clock, you want to race an opponent, etc. I'm just going to go ahead and race against the clock for now. I'm not interested in, in racing against somebody. I'm not even good as it is, even with the old gaming. So with this particular game. So let's check our car menu. Oh, wow. Yeah. So we have the 25th anniversary Lamborghini. And then you'll be able to select all different types of vehicles from back in the day. And it gives you all the different stats. This is a V12, 400 horsepower. Tells you top speeds, acceleration, angle as well, and then the price of the vehicle at the time. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and just choose Porsche. And yeah, you can go in here and choose a color. So I'm just going to choose good old sports car red. Now you can actually choose auto. The game will just choose one randomly for you, and then you can choose to race for it. Just really exciting to see that stuff in the games back then. And click on done. And track. It's really something really cool about Stunts back in the day was the track. So this is a default track, and I can go in and select a whole bunch of tracks that are preloaded into the computer. But really cool about this as well is you can go in and click on new track. I can actually go in and create my own track. I can drop all the different particular track format here, and I can go into my grid and go up and down, scroll up and down, and I can go in and actually drop in my own track and race my track and test my track. That was really cool at the time. So I'm not going to do that right now. Let's go here. Let's go done. Oh, it's not letting me out of the editor there. There we go. And we're going to hit exit because we don't want to make any changes to the actual save. So we'll choose the just the main track, the default track for now. Okay. And then we also have the options, which is usually just your input device. So I'm using the keyboard for the sake of this video today, but you could also use a mouse included with this. You could use a joystick connected to it. You can go in and choose your sound options, and there's some video options as well for quality. As I mentioned earlier, I created the boot disk specifically to allow us to connect, or sorry, to configure for this specifically for this game. So we have the highest quality right now. Okay. Before we'll drive, though, one of the things that it's going to ask me for is security for the game. So one of the things back in the day is your CD key or your ability to get past the security was the book. So it would ask you to go to a particular page to see exactly what the code was. Let's see here. Just looking it up. Let's see here. There we are. Okay. So, fasten your seatbelt. Let's go. Oh, it says you forgot to disable the security system first, so I didn't put in the code. So that's your way of it not letting you play the game if you don't enter the actual code. So let's go ahead and try it again. And let's see here. Okay, and this particular word here is currently... There we are. There we are. Here we are playing Stunts, the need for speed of the day. Jeez, this is awesome. Oh, I'm obviously very terrible at this. Totally fine. For some reason, I'm worse today than I was back in the day. Oh, let's see what's over here. Just love the graphics of the time and the sounds. Oh, oversteered. So cool. Even the detail of the graphics of the scenery. Oh, here's a jump. Do we make it? We made it. All right. Let's exit out of here and show you another game. So yeah, that was Stunts in DOS, running on an IBM Thinkpad 380 XD. Let's get out of the game, and we'll load up another game that that I used to run with my used to play quite a bit as well with my brother. Is One Must Fall 2097. This particular game is Mortal Kombat of the game, actually, back in the day, or Street Fighter game, or that sort of format, except you're big machines, big robots, and it's a tournament. It's quite awesome game. Hopefully everybody can hear it okay there. And you can do there's a whole bunch of different things you can do in the game here. You can go into configuration and what different you want to use, whether, again, keyboard, joystick, gamepad, things like that. I use the gamepad and keyboard quite a bit growing up. I'm just going to choose a one-player game for the sake of today's video. I know we're running a bit long than I wanted to originally, but I'm glad everyone, if you stuck by me, enjoying the wonderful retro that we have today. It's been great. All right, I'm going to choose my player and choose my robot, and everyone will be able to see here we are. Yeah, it's really cool to be able to remember the games I used to play quite a bit when I was younger. And working so well on this this machine of the era. There we are. I'm victorious.
Round 2, fight.
Here we are. And we won. So you just continue to play the game, and there's tournament mode. You can play against 2 players if you have 2 people playing. And that's awesome. So I'm going to leave it here for today's video. Hopefully you loved spending some time to explore the ThinkPad of 1997, the ThinkPad 380XD. I know I've enjoyed doing this for you guys. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so whatever you can do to subscribe, that'll be really appreciated. And also click the notification button. You'll be notified of all new content. I'm trying to make videos 1 to 2 days a week, so stay tuned for that. And hopefully you've enjoyed seeing what you saw today. So without any further ado, I'd like to wish everyone a wonderful evening, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.